Well, we are finally back with another second channel video. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and welcome back to the rainy state that is Utah. Now, if you guys saw on the main channel, the A12 Superfast is finally back in Pennsylvania. That is our main goal for 2025. But before we can sort out that car, we got to sort out the Aventador Roadster, and what is in this box should actually be the solution. Now, the problem that has plagued this car has plagued it for a very, very long time. In the wintertime, not the summertime, and that of course is the driver's side door. So somehow it is temperature dependent. In the summertime the door latches, but in the wintertime you'll see when it's cold outside, the door does not latch. When you're driving down the highway doing 75 miles an hour and the door won't close, that is a problem. In that box should be the solution. We're gonna sort this out finally today. Now these parts here cost way more than I would ever like to admit. It's got the official Lamborghini tape, so I guess it adds up. Inside of here we have the cable for the driver's side door. Now my understanding is that this driver door cable extends from the door release here to the door latch. So we're gonna have to pull apart all the interior structure. The driver's seat is gonna come out as well. I'm hoping we don't have to remove the side skirt. We'll kind of sort of play it by ear. Now in the wintertime, somehow the colder temperature must make this restrict maybe? I guess we'll find out when we pull out the original one. I'm almost certain it's related to the cable, but just in case, I also got the driver door lock. Might be related to this. If not, we can return this part certainly, but it's better to have it when the car is torn apart, because once it's torn apart, it's kind of sort of immobile. So I bought both, and ideally, we're gonna return this. Now, one of the massive saving graces on this car, it is an Aventador Roadster, and so from an accessibility standpoint, it is gonna be so much easier to tear apart the interior on this car. Ignition on, no key identified, the key's right here. Come on, Aventador. We might have to fire it up. For some reason, this car is being a little bit finicky. So right under here, you can actually turn the ignition on kind of sort of manually. Right there, we got to roll down the driver's side window. Now, it should go without saying, I have never one single time in my life repaired a door latch on any car, let alone a Lamborghini. A little bit of a fun fact, just because I know you guys want the cold start up, you can actually start up the car right there. That sounds so good. She has not been turned on in such a long time. And of course, when I put a little bit, let's shut her down. It's going to be very important that none of these parts get mixed up with the A12. That's been one of my concerns about working on this car. With all the A12 parts scattered everywhere, we do not want to mix and match. The OGs will remember that the Aventador Roadster used to be satin white before it was painted rose. So you can see the satin white right there. Now, unfortunately, removing this bolt has realized my biggest fear. I am almost certain the entire side of the car is going to have to be removed. If you look in here at the door lock, you can actually see one end of the cable, and the only way to access that cable is to remove this piece. So if you remove this piece, the side's just got to come off, the rear bumper's got to come off. So effectively, the entire side of the car is going to have to be removed just to access this piece here. And 4 bolts later, the driver's seat has been fully removed. Now that I've worked on the A12, these projects are getting so much easier. We're gonna detail the car as well with the Metro vac. Definitely the best cordless hand vac in the game. Super nice to get these hard to get areas. Obviously with the seat out, it's pretty simple, but generally speaking, this thing can go anywhere.
Now, pulling out the interior, it's not a super difficult process, but you gotta work slowly, you gotta work delicately. I don't wanna break anything. These clips are super fragile, and remember, we're trying to fix the door handle, not break more components.
Well, the driver's side interior trim was removed surprisingly pretty easy. Look at the carbon fiber weave there on the carbon fiber tub. We have the tire pressure monitor ECU. More you know, I love these pink seat belts as well. And we have determined that the culprit is 100% the cable. So you can see the cable right here. This piece, you see how it's 90 degrees? That should be one singular unit. So somehow this piece kind of sort of snapped. Now the cable runs up along the door sill, through the grommet right there, and then it feeds in to the door lock. So this is the new cable here, and you can see this part of it is one singular unit. So we've definitely determined the culprit. We should be able to return the door lock, which is amazing because that part's not cheap. It's funny because I've worked on this car so many times. Removing this piece the first time was an absolute disaster, but today, 30 seconds later, I definitely shouldn't be filming and doing it at the same time. Makes it a lot harder to be more cautious, but you guys gotta see what happens. It's crazy to think about all the extra workload if this doesn't work how I'm hoping. We're talking hours and hours and hours of work, but if she pops out, come on baby, come on, little persuasion.
Well, unfortunately, my biggest fear has been realized. We are indeed gonna have to remove this side skirt. So we gotta jack up the car, we gotta pull both wheels, wheel liners, etc., etc. I'm also gonna rotate the car 360 degrees.
We have the smallest weather window to move remove this Aventador Roadster, and then immediately it started raining once again. Utah in the wintertime. Come on. Oh gosh, I hate clips so much. I hate them so much. One side skirt, kind of. Actually, you know what? We might be able to leave it just like that. So the side skirt is hanging off, and it's totally fine. The problem is I have underglow on this car, and that's what's keeping it kind of sort of connected, but it gives us the access that we need. This random piece, whatever you call it, is fully removed. Because the area that we're working in is right here and the jack is right there, we actually put the rear wheel back on. We're gonna lower the car back to the ground. Well, officially, we have reached the other side of the door lock. You can see the cable mechanism right here. Now, somehow we gotta figure out how we're gonna weasel the new cable through and how we're gonna disconnect this. We'll sort that out. No biggie. Rotate that, and then that clips right out. This is definitely the most critical part of the entire video. I don't know if this is gonna work. We gotta snake the old cable out. We're gonna tape it to the new cable. So in the same process, we snake the new cable through. If it doesn't work,
this is definitely the scariest part of the entire process. If for some reason the old cable and the new cable become disconnected and I pull the old cable out, I have no idea how I will ever get the new cable back through.
Let's go, baby! We got it! It worked! Oh, yes. I'm really glad that the blue tape, painter's tape method worked. New cable is fully in. We are ready to rock and roll. And the old cable, the broken cable, is no more. Now we got the new cable in place here. We're already connected in there. So if my calculations are correct, that's right, baby. She fixed. Just like that. The longest issue I've ever had with this car has finally been sorted. All we needed was a new cable. We are back in business. And when I say we're back in business, we gotta piece back the entire car. Side skirt's gotta clip back in. That piece over there has gotta pop back in. All the interior's gotta be put back together as well. Liberty Walk wide body kit, we gotta put the white wheels back on as well. Ladies and gentlemen, 75 miles an hour down the freeway, that door is staying closed.
I really love these time lapses. It makes me appear so efficient, so fast, and so knowledgeable. What took me about 3 hours, you guys are gonna witness in about 25 seconds. So we gotta piece back the entire car, we gotta install the white Vossen wheels, the Liberty Walk wide body kit, all the carbon fiber accessories, etc., 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 and voila, the car is as good as new.
And officially, there you have it. The Liberty Walk Aventador Roadster is back together in one singular piece, and the door functions perfectly. Now, I know this video wasn't like the most exciting video of all time, but it was a necessary evil. We had to get the door fixed. We're actually gonna end today's video in Dubai, back in Dubai. So 2 weeks ago, I was out in Dubai, and unfortunately I got super sick, and I didn't have a chance to film that much content when I was out there. But while I was out there, I met up with the homies from Elaine Class Motors, and I drove their Celine S7 twin turbo. So we're gonna cut back to Dubai. I will see you guys in the new year. Happy 2025, but back to Dubai. Well, we come to you guys from a random undisclosed location somewhere in Dubai, a little slice of America, the 2007 Celine S7 twin turbo. We're talking 750 horsepower, a 7-liter twin turbocharged V8. This thing is 17 years old.
It looks amazing.
It looks amazing.
For 17
It still looks revolutionary. I still remember I must have been, what, 13, 14, 15 years old. I saw this car in the DuPont registry and my jaw hit the floor. And still today, it's one of the craziest looking cars, especially coming out of America, built in Irvine, California. This thing looks like a spaceship. I'm not entirely sure how you actually get in this car. It is not the definition of smooth as butter, that is for sure. Oh my gosh, my old age is showing.
Do you have more room than I do?
That's insane. That is no,
Literally,
that's insane. Okay, you gotta give it some muscle. So, 2007, Celine S7 twin turbo. What is going on? This cabin is so tight.
The legroom
I know,
insane,
what?
Like nothing.
My thigh is wedged in between the center console and the steering wheel. So speedometer goes up to 240 miles an hour. We got a red line of 6,500 RPMs. What's crazy is, I don't know what is first gear. I'm assuming that's first gear, second gear. We got third, fourth. I don't know exactly where reverse is. I kind of was just thrown into the fire in an S7 twin turbo. 750 horsepower, 2,800 pounds, old tires, in the desert, on sand. What could go wrong? Absolutely nothing. Of course, this is one of those situations you do not want to lose control of one of these in the desert. There's a lot of loose sand on the road too, and clearly I do not own this car. We're in a foreign country, and we definitely want to go back home. Okay, first and second was not very smooth, but in my defense, we're driving an S7 twin turbo. This is crazy. God bless America right there. Steve Saline, I don't know where you are, bro. But all right. S7, I gotta get my cowboy out right now. Oh my gosh.
This thing is so cool.
So cool. Dubai thing ever. There is a wild camel just walking through the desert right there. What is going on? In an S7 twin turbo, we are camel spotting in the moment. That's a nice camel. That thing is sick too. What? A two-door GMC Sierra, and then we got the yellow Ram TRX. Yellow on the TRX, very, very nice. But yes, this thing is crazy. Ironically enough, the Saline S7, when Facebook first came out, I had a Facebook profile photo. It was me sitting in a Saline S7. That kind of sort of ages me ever so slightly. First off, the fact that I'm on Facebook, but also that was my first profile photo sitting in a red S7 in Vancouver, Washington. That TRX sounds crazy. Whatever he's got in his, I gotta get on mine. Where even are we? This is definitely one of the craziest looking cars ever built. Top speed 248 miles an hour. And I love that it's a true mid-engine. There's so much space behind the back. I guess that's for aerodynamics. But man, this thing is a big car to fit in this trailer. Third Nation, have yourself a moment. This is about as big of a car as you can fit in this trailer. And man, that twin turbo V8 sounds crazy. As far as supercars and hypercars built in America, this has got to be about as cool as it comes. And this is in a lot of ways like sort of the first American supercar. Obviously you have the Ford GT, the second gen Ford GT, you have the Hennessy Venom, and of course the Hennessy Venom F5. So these are trading for about $1 million, give or take. That's a lot of car for the money. 78 of these in the entirety of the world. How many of the twin turbo, I'm not entirely sure. Well, I've officially decided what the next build needs to be on the channel.
Truck like this?
A truck like this. Yeah. This is sick. So the whole thing lifts up and over. You got the lights in there as well. Car looks like it's sat here in a showroom, and the sun just set here in Dubai. The Arabian sun. So
it's the best sun.
The best sun, right?
I mean, it's the same sun, but it's the best.
It still is the best sun. That's true. Sophia makes a great point. It's the same sun everywhere. We all share the same sun.
Yeah.
Imagine this: truck and trailer. You 6x6 it. You Hellcat swap it as well. Of course, just for the mims.
You gotta keep it simple.
Nah,
so
why simple? My Gladiator's reliable.
Yeah.
It is. It's never had an issue ever.
One time.
And of course, as cool as a cucumber. Look at that. That's so sick.
So cool.
That is the coolest thing ever. And it's so functional as well. It makes it so much easier because getting a car off a trailer is so annoying, and that just pops right on out. You got one truck. You don't even have to deal with a trailer at all. That's slick. That is how you do it. Seamless as always, only from Elaine Class Motors here in Dubai.